G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, back with more of our Oblivion Remastered Wizard playthrough. Unfortunately, the last playthrough, my system crashed pretty majorly. I mentioned in that playthrough that I had made a few changes, and one of them was that I was running dual video cards in an attempt to try and have the game have my good video card and my other screens and the rendering of the stream would potentially run on the secondary video card. Well, it looks like that caused a problem. There was an error that popped up. Looked like it ran out of video RAM and something just died big time. And it wasn't the game. I think it was OBS. So I've gotten rid of the second video card. We're just running the one, and we're going to go from there. Now, I'm not entirely sure where the crash happened, but I think it happened just after I handed over just after I handed over the Amulet of Kings. Come on, game. Finish rendering properly, please. I mean, seriously. Thank you. Right, and so I ended up going back here and selling some stuff. So my inventory is much clearer now, although I do have a whole bunch of items to put away back at home. And I think I'm going to do that first because I've got a level to take as well. So if I go home, drop off all this stuff that I don't want, and sleep, I can come back and I can do the rest of the quest here. So I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah. Let's give this a try. It will be so tempting to grab some strength. But I'm not going to. Just grabbing some strength so I could carry more would be so tempting. But the fact that I've got Ease Burden spell, and I can even make a more powerful version of it, maybe not right away, but at some point. I should actually check and see if what version I can make right now with the skills that I've currently got. But let's put the stuff away and rest. It's mostly this sort of stuff that I want to put away. Right, was there anything here? 2 lockpicks, 2 repair. Okay, I don't need the repair hammers, and I've decided I'm not going to keep the torches on me. I mean, I will probably grab... Yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted to do, but that's fine. Okay, let's have 10 lockpicks on me. Actually, let's grab all the lockpicks. That's not a problem, because I don't weigh anything. Let's put away all the repair hammers. Let's put away all the torches. And that's what we're going to carry with us. All right. How much money? We've got enough money to buy the other lot of candles too. Well, we probably won't after spell. So my ease burden at the moment does for 50 for 240 seconds based on alteration. My alteration skill is 39. All right. So that's feather. On self. Magnitude 50 for... I can't even make one that is 240 seconds. All right. Okay. Magnitude 100 points of feather on myself for 120 seconds. I can live with that. Backpack 100, 120. All right, that's going to be a better spell to use than the other one because it's going to be double, half the time, but double the effectiveness. I don't know whether later on I'll be able to make an even better version than that. I've got a feeling I won't, but yeah. I didn't go to sleep and get my level, so let's do that. I have to make an effort to raise up my alteration skill as well. Well, I've got to make an effort to raise up quite a few of my skills, to be honest. It is 11 p.m. I might as well wait for 9 hours, sleep for 9 hours. So the skills that I really want to level up are restoration, destruction, alteration, and restoration. Same as I do in Skyrim, right? Because they're the main things that I'm going to be using. Destruction to do damage, alteration as my shielding, and restoration to heal myself. So I think I'm going to go, like I said in my last playthrough, I think I'm going to keep adding 5 points until I get to 75 here. Well, actually, I might just keep going this way until I get these to 100, which is as high as you can get them. And then I'll start thinking about adding, strength, agility, speed, or maybe, even more endurance. So yeah, we need to go back to Coral. There's that one there.
Hello there.
Ah, yes, you are a guild mage, are you not? Yet, there's a small map. Best of...
Sure.
Excellent. The book is entitled... You'll find it at an old... Return it...
Hello.
A sale?
It's good to know we've got such a strong fighters
I didn't realize that was the house here. Actually, to be honest, I've only really ever looked into a couple of the houses.
Greetings to you.
How are you today? What do you want? What? Not only does it exist...
Anvil is the
but she
main
knows where it
house
is.
that I've ever made an
This is
effort to get
unacceptable.
in any of the
That
cities.
book needs to be in the safekeeping of the guild. I trust that as a member of the... Are we clear? Should you go looking for it, I hope that it would be for the... Make haste. I wish to be rid of Erana as soon as possible.
All right, let's go and get this.
It's you. Hi.
I thought that was all.
Is that my current quest? It is. Good. Just double check. Yep, there we go. Wonderful. All right, I should make an effort. Starlight, I don't think. Yeah, so let's put Starlight on the 7. I think we're good with everything else. Don't need Starlight at the moment, but we do need our shield. And then let's get our distance spell ready. Being cautious because things like that. Didn't need a second shot. Very nice. I suppose a little bit of detect life. Oh, that's not lasting very long. Neither is my protection. This is the path I want? I think it is. I thought maybe I heard a wolf following me. Probably a wolf over there on that other side of that hill. There are several wolves along this path. There was another one over that way somewhere. Do I have to go this way? Feeling there was a wolf following me again. One of the things I don't like in this remaster is the health bar on the opponents seems to disappear very quickly. So you hit them, you see their health bar, they move, particularly if you're using ranged stuff, which of course, you know, as a mage I am, but also when I play as an archer I am as well. You shoot it, you hit them with something, the health bar pops up, you see how much damage they've done, and then they move and the health bar disappears very, very quickly. And particularly with my wizard, who's doing damage over time, like, are they still actually taking damage and are just about to die on me? Or do I need to hit them with another shot? So it definitely feels kind of annoying. They need to make a better effort. They need to resolve that. They need to keep the health bar there longer. Really should just fast travel, but I don't know. I'm enjoying the scenery. I also want to kill a few wolves. Yeah, without dying. I've noticed that as well, that It seems like I take fall damage a lot more than I used to. Now, sure, that should be part of whichever one it is, acrobatics, I think. And I need to level that up. But I don't feel like I'm jumping, like I've just jumped over, like, walls, like a fence. I've jumped over the fence, landed on the other side, and taken damage. And it's like, what? The ground on the other side is at the same level as where I jumped from. Why have I taken damage? But it's just I can jump high enough that I'm taking damage. It's like, no, that doesn't seem right. So I think that needs to be tweaked a little bit as well. Hang on a sec. That is mysticism. Starlight is illusion. Damn it. So there's so little alteration that I can use to level up. It's really just protect, and I don't get any. Even if I just cast it, I don't really go up levels in alteration until, or I'm pretty sure I don't go up in levels in alteration until someone actually attacks me with the shield up. If my shield isn't up, if I just cast it like this, you just spam cast it, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't increase my alteration, I don't think. I think I need to go and have a look
What is it, associate?
at a wiki and find what all the alteration
What is
spells
it,
are
associate?
and see if there's a better option.
Go ahead. You found the book? Yes, this is indeed the correct book. You have shown yourself. Now, I must...
Good morning.
I can't believe that Glisto would live with that Quintus Ancrus.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
It's shameful. Still.
so we've done everything now. I should just go and sell some of this stuff.
What is it?
Then I think what I want to do is
How does the day treat you?
How are you today?
Okay.
I want to go and do whatever the name of this one is, this dungeon over here where you can get all of the Welkin stones or whatever they're called. Like, I just jumped there and took no damage, and yet there are other times when I can do that and I take damage. It's a little inconsistent. Anyway, let's not complain. Let's
Good
just...
day. What can I interest you in?
Actually, that's what else I also need to do. I need to...
That's a good deal. Tell your friends about me. Bye.
I want to go and get the next... I don't know whether to get the next lot of candles so that I can do the enchanting, or whether I want to go and get some more of the furniture for Frostcrag. I get the candles, I can do enchanting, but then I've got to buy soul gems. And it's a lot harder to buy filled soul gems. Well, it was in the original Oblivion. I don't know if they've changed that or not. But I found it really hard to source filled soul gems. So, yeah, let's fast travel back to here.
On an empty stomach.
They sure do.
Well met. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
So I can afford that. She's got 2 different lots of soul gems. That is filled, and that is filled. All right. Let's grab that. And then, how many of those can I afford? I don't know if I can afford all 3. Yes, I can.
Fine bargain for you. I appreciate your business. You too.
So, just trying to work out or think about what I want to do here. The early game, my sort of thing has been that I would enchant clothes with shield on them so that they act like armor. Because it feels to me like early game, in the original Oblivion anyway, I was never hurting for magicka. You know, if I got through a battle and I had no magicka left, and even had to use some potions, and I knew another battle was coming up soon, I could often find a spot where I could just pass time for an hour, and I would get all of my magicka back. So that sort of makes me think, well, oh, I see. So I have to go, this is what I want to enchant. This is the soul gem. And then I add what I want. So if I fortify magicka, that's going to only give me 13 extra points of magicka. But if I go shield, that's going to give me 7 points of armor. Yeah, I definitely think early game, if I go my shirt, pants, and boots, that's 21 points of armor without even casting shield. And then I can cast my shield on top of that. 21 points of armor is huge early game. So this is going to be shield 7. shirt. It's gonna cost, I can't do it. It's gonna cost me 700 gold, which I don't have. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I don't have the gold. No, I don't. Okay, so I need to get some gold to do that, to do all of this. That's fine. Let me just confirm that I will get the same on each piece of equipment. I know I should. Okay, shield 7, that's fine. If I change it to boots. Shield 7, beautiful. What are the other effects that I could have added? Water breathing, shock damage? No. Light? No. Feather? I mean, I could also do that. That would be the other way to make sure that I can carry a lot of stuff. How much feather is that going to give me? 23 points per item. I mean, yeah, but also no. Alright, so I've got to get money to be able to enchant my gear. Oh, the feather is cheaper. That's interesting. If I... What was the Fortify Magic? 1,300! Oh my! That is really expensive. That is why I'm also going to leave it till later to add that effect in, because wow, that's gonna require a good chunk of gold to be able to create a suit that gives me any sort of Fortify Magicka. So not only do I need to find large soul gems filled, or fill them myself, which is always a pain, but I need a lot of gold. Alright, so we can't do this yet. Let's put these soul gems away so that I don't mistakenly sell them. Because we know that that is something that I would probably end up doing. Is that a filled soul gem? I feel like it isn't, and I know it isn't because if it was, it would have showed me right there. I will keep it though, and what I probably need to do, it won't let me remove the Mage Guild key yet. Alright. What I probably need to do is create... I can't think what I was going to say now. Even to the whole creation point. I probably need... What I probably need is I need to get the soul trap. Is what I need. It is 8:27 PM. That's all right. We're going dungeon diving. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night. Oh, hang on. Can I create a better version of the shield spell? Is the other thing. I don't have much gold, though. I've only got 96. But what is the what is my current shield spell doing? Protect. That's all I've got, isn't it? Yes. So I've got Protect, and that is doing 5% for 30 seconds. I thought I already created one that was better than that. Spell 56, Backpack, Absorb Health, Elemental Bolt, Shock. No, it must have been in my... I must have done this in my other playthrough. The offline one. Alright. Because... Hang on. Protect is for 30 seconds. So I want it to be at least 30 seconds. So if I do shield on self for Need 240 gold for that. I also need alteration of 50. What if I change that to be 30 seconds? I can do 15% for 30 seconds. Can I do 20%? I can. All right. I just can't afford it yet. But 30 seconds is not very long. All right. Let's go and get ourselves... Go do some adventure and get ourselves some money, I guess. Now, I had a water breathing spell, didn't I? I don't really need it, but I am going to be swimming, so... Oh, I noticed something earlier as well. They went to all the effort of recreating the... what's the name of the fish that flops around on the bank? But anyway, that fish that'll bite you from the water that you used to see flopping around on the ground, because somehow it managed to get out of the water and get up on the there it is. One of them just jumped out of the water there for a second and went back in. It'll probably, if it follows me, it'll probably come up onto the ground. There it is, right there, the slaughterfish. They've actually recreated that from the original game. I think that's just so hilarious. Anything I want? No, I don't. Oh, I should take this, guys. Yes. So they've redesigned this area around here a little bit. You may or may not notice the difference, but there used to be like a tree here, or somewhere over in this direction, and there used to be a few arrows shot into the tree. Whoever the archer was, well, the archer was this guy down here. The archer had been practicing by shooting arrows into the tree, and you used to be able to pick up a few on that tree. Well, they've gotten rid of that. This still has the arrows, but not stuck in it, but there's a couple around it, and one sitting on top of it. Crate. That was the other thing that was being used as a target previously. So that's the change around here. At least the change that I have noticed. Damn it! Good, it came back briefly. I think that is the... I've only seen that sort of weird, whatever it is, happening since I downloaded this new engine.ini file. Yeah. Damn it. No, I can't live with that. A little behind the scenes magic, I guess. data. Documents, my games, remastered, saved, config, Windows, engine, rename, new, rename. All right. Let's see if this works any better. Oh. It's processing the Vulkan shaders. I'm going to skip that, because that'll sit there for an hour, which could actually cause even more problems. Come on, load up. What are you doing? To stop it and start it again. Why is it that you can play a game for hours on end, and the minute you stream it, things just go to hell in a handbasket? Okay. Come on. You can do it. There we go. All right. Wonder where the crab is. There's normally a crab around here. Okay. The search there. Can I cut the cord? I am positive you used to be able to do this. There's a part of me that is very tempted to load up the original Oblivion and try that. Where are they? There's going to be like 3 of them out there. At least, if not 4. I tell you what, there is only one. There's one right there. There is only one thing that I really, really want in the Elder Scrolls 6, and that is sneak damage from spells. I want to make a sneaky mage. I don't know if I killed that guy or not. I don't see him on the HUD anymore. I'm assuming he's dead. Yes, he is dead. See his body just there. There should be a couple of other guys. This door's not usually open. That would be because the guy's asleep on the bed. What I meant to do. These. Yeah. Save.
Who's there?
Where are you? Come up through there.
What's that?
Actually, the other thing, well, I say the other thing I want for Elder Scrolls 6, but I don't, because it's adding a feature back in that was taken out. One of the features that I had here, that I liked, mods that I had on the original Oblivion, was a repair and recharge mod. So you could use, there was 2 spells that you could use that would repair equipment and recharge, like recharge the charges on staves and weapons and stuff like that. And I always thought it was a pretty good idea to be able to do that, which is not something that you really want anymore because we don't have that feature in Skyrim. Well, recharging you could. Actually, I think I had a mod to do that in Skyrim as well. Now that I think about it. Put that in there. Let's put that away. And we don't need 8 Welkin stones on us, so let's get rid of all but one of those. Good. Is that the person there? A bit hard to tell. Yep. They're sitting down. Gee, if I didn't miss quite so much, that would have been much better. Battle axe. Yeah, I don't want any of this junk. I mean, I probably should pick it up because if I am going to do alchemy, which we know I'm probably not, but if I am, I'm going to need it.
Who's there?
Whatever.
Damn rats. Always skirting around in the shadows. Making me jumpy.
I think there's... Yeah, there is a second guy. He's the ringleader. Alright. He was the ringleader. I was going to say, the ringleader, and he's only armed with a dagger, but that was his backup weapon. I think he had the two-handed. The Iron Warhammer. I don't think there's ever really much in this area. Yeah, so let's go and chuck everything up in the chest. Again, the plan is that we're going to put everything we loot into that chest so that we can move around a little bit easier. And then once we're done here, we'll just do a couple of quick runs to go and sell everything. Eagle Feather Shield. Reflect spell on self, 8%. That'll sell very nicely. All right. Like this will probably hurt. No? I don't get it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
I knew he was there, but I didn't expect him to be ready to attack me quite so quickly. Why is this not triggering properly? Where is he? I don't like this. I know he's here. There he is. Didn't want to... I was concerned that he might have... Like, if I had to just come here, he might have been waiting, like, right there or right there, and he would have just thumped me as I walked around the corner. There's another one usually down here, but you do have to be careful in case it's waiting closer. Any of that. That's right, there's nothing up there. I keep forgetting that there is nothing up there. Okay. This is probably where I do need some shielding. Because there is an archer in here. If I'm not careful. He is going to shoot me, but I've got him. I never remember how many guys there are in here. I always kill 2 and then sit here and think, is there more? But I did this just as an archer just a few hours ago, and I remembered that there's only 2. Not too worried. I did notice, though, that there's now more light under the water there, which actually, from the other side, does make it a little more obvious that there is that chest lying on the bottom. Because that crystal right there is actually really close to that chest. So you can see it much easier. Let's cast water breathing on our ourselves, and then we might as well do light as well, just to make it even better. And then, because we can't cast, I don't think we can cast this underwater. No, you can't cast ranged spells underwater, so... There's going to be another skeleton just along here somewhere. Sometimes he's really close to this, and so you want to be careful. Other times, not so much. Can I hit that from here? Potentially knock that off. Oh, you're kidding me. This is not going to knock... Can't believe that that's not going to knock that gem off. I have to use a bow to do it. I mean, not a huge problem. I have a bow and some arrows, but... You used to be able to knock that off with any sort of ranged spell hitting it. How am I doing for countering? Fine. Arrow there, and the arrow that I shot is there. Am I going to be able to get through? Yeah, I'm going to be able to get through that. No, I meant to do that. Thank you. Right, can I get into this one? Easy, yep. Nothing in there, of course. Average, no. Average, no. Well, all I can do is save, and then... what's quick load? F9. Ooh, okay. There is nothing in there anyway, so I don't care. Opening that up. And we are right on the edge of carrying too much, so... we will go back. Hang on, wrong way. This way over here. What am I drinking? Just Pepsi Max. One out of 150. See, that time I did take damage. Yes, this is Tamriel. So, this is the land of Cyrodiil, the Imperial City and its surrounds. Skyrim is up here, which is the Elder Scrolls 5. Morrowind is over here, which was the Elder Scrolls 3. Hammerfell is over here, and over to the left of Hammerfell is Daggerfall, which was the Elder Scrolls 2. And I don't remember where Elder Scrolls Arena was actually set. I've never played it. Hammerfell, I think, is the location of the next game, if I remember rightly. Yes. Elder Scrolls 6 is supposedly going to happen in Hammerfell. I think that's right. Okay, put that guy all the way back there. And there's normally a second skeleton somewhere close. Must be just up here. Okay, he might be in there. Where is he? There's normally another skeleton. That's freaky. They missed one. And they rebuild it. Sometimes you end up with two of them down there at the trap. And then if there's only one down there, the other one is usually standing like right here somewhere. Just make sure he's not out in the open in here. Isn't. So they did miss one. Interesting. That door closed. Yeah. Down. And one gives me the chest with the key in it. Let's take this guy, don't want it. Don't want it, but I want his axe. Here. Yeah, Hammerfell is mostly desert themed, I think. I don't know if there is any if there's tropical in it. Like I do know of it as a desert area, but I could be, like, I'm not an expert, so I could be missing that there is tropical in the area as well. Like that might be based on what was brought in with some of the Elder Scrolls Online, which added some extra history to stuff. And then I was going to say that the other thing that I do know is that that's where the Red Guard come from, which are the, for want of a better term, the black people. You know, the African American, the African equivalent in the fantasy realm. They're called the Red Guard here, and they are known as very good fighters. They're known to live in a desert environment, and they're also known to be really good sailors. No, I don't know that I've ever really played a JRPG, to be fair. Like, I don't actually know if I fully grasp the distinction between JRPG and anything else that's considered an RPG. But what I will say is, while I cut my teeth years and years ago on RPGs, you know, Baldur's Gate 1, all of that sort of stuff, and even stuff before that, you know, some of the they're called the Gold Box games from SSI. A lot of the old Dungeons and Dragons Gold Box series games. I played a few of them. I played a bit of Wizardry 5 in the day. Ultima 5, of course, is the big one that I've played. The thing is, I've noticed over the last few years, particularly since I started streaming, even though I said that I'm a big RPG fan and Pathfinder Kingmaker was the thing that made my channel take off, I'm finding I like RPGs less and less because I'm finding I don't have the patience anymore to manage an entire party of characters. I just want to concentrate on one. So I'm liking the single player games like the Elder Scrolls, like Avowed. Even though Avowed, you do have party members, you don't have to actually manage them very much, and there's only a maximum of 2 at any given time. There's a total of 4, you know, full stop. And I will say I have recently, like, I also loved The Witcher 3 for that aspect as well, that it's just you. Although The Witcher 3, great game, but it feels a little restrictive because you can only really play as a Witcher, right? You can't decide to play as a wizard or as an archer or whatever. You can. I know there are people who do it, who sit there and say, I'm only going to use signs or I'm only going to use the crossbow. But the game wasn't designed that way, and you're getting yourself into a world of hurt if you play The Witcher like that. There are people who are just insanely better at those sorts of games than me, and they can actually do it. But I wouldn't be able to do it because you've got to... It it ramps up the difficulty so much and prolongs every battle so much, because like if I tried to do a crossbow only run of The Witcher 3, the crossbow has really one purpose in The Witcher 3, and that is it is there for you to shoot enemies out of the sky so that they land on the ground and you can then attack them. It's not really meant to be a proper long range weapon that you can just snipe enemies from a distance, because it just doesn't do the damage. Even when you get it early game, it doesn't do very much damage, and there's only a little bit of stuff that you can do in the abilities to make it more powerful. And by the end of the game, it's doing a fraction of the damage that you can do with any of your other weapons. And the signs are a little bit that way as well. The signs are better, but you're not supposed to play it that way. But yeah, I'm rambling, but I'm also, I've discovered that I am less tolerant of having to build an entire party of characters than what I used to be. And so more and more I'm looking for these sorts of games where it's just me. Or the other game that I played recently that wasn't too bad was I played Dragon Age Origin and Dragon Age 2. I started to play Dragon Age 3, but was getting a little bit annoyed that each of the Dragon Age games, like the change from Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age 2, the change in the interface and how you did certain things in the game, it changed enough that it was annoying to begin with, and then everything sort of changed again with Dragon Age 3. And yeah, I've heard a little bit about Kenshi. I'm not sure if it's my sort of thing, but I might look at it at some point. Because I really like the games where you have that option of playing as whatever sort of character you want. You know, if you want to play a mage, you can play a mage. If you want to play a warrior, you can play a warrior. If you want to play an archer, you can play an archer. Any game that sort of restricts you and says, well, you're only going to play the game as this, like a Witcher, I don't find as enjoyable. I will play it, but I don't necessarily find it as enjoyable. But there was something about the Dragon Age games that you really could just, and this is the same with Avowed, you could spend minimal time building the characters, and you could just play however you wanted to. And on the default difficulty, your companions seemed to be good enough that you didn't have to micromanage them and tell them what to do in combat. You could just sit back and let them do their thing, and you could battle how you wanted to battle, and you didn't have to worry that they're going to die all the time or any of that sort of stuff. And it was really very enjoyable. So I like that about Avowed, and I like that about the first two Dragon Age games that I played. I do plan to eventually go back and play Dragon Age Inquisition and maybe Veilguard as well. And I've been thinking about doing some sort of reaction video where I talk about the games and what I liked about them and what I didn't like about them. As something else that I feel like I want or need to do. I might get around to that at some point as well. I thought there was another skeleton there. Normally there isn't, but I thought I could see one just sort of standing right about there. That's why I cast a couple more of my bolts in that general direction. Okay, we're full up. Let's do our backpack. And I think we should be able to finish this now without needing to do anything else. I don't think we're going to pick up another 100-pound of equipment through all of this. For the rest of this. So I think we'll be fine. Wrong one. I need to do that. There we go. I feel like there used to be a second container over here somewhere in this room. Alright, last area. Oops. I do want my shield up, just because there's going to be another mage here that's going to be casting stuff at me. Where is he? I don't see him. Where is he? Right there, hidden behind.
Who's there?
There we go. A little bit of hurt from that, but not too bad. Oh, and we're encumbered again because it wore off. Backpack. I'm going to take that, even though I don't really want to wear it. The black clothes do actually look quite good. Except I don't like the Necromancer's shirt. But if I go and join the Fighters Guild, and I go to Choral, there is a Highwayman's shirt, I think it's called. And it always I think goes quite well with this black outfit. Any problem with this black outfit is pants are too short. You need some decent boots to go with it. Oh, where did I find that dark shirt? I like that. That combination works well. If I could just find some decent boots to go with it. The problem is that unarmored boots, none of them are very long in the leg. They're all very similar to those. So they're sort of like short ankle boots. They're not, you know, if you want something that is more like boots, you know, like riding boots, say. And that leather bracer, that actually is, I think that is technically light armor. So I don't want to wear them. Yes. So I think I didn't take the shirt off him, did I? Because there is also, where is he? Up against the wall over here. Oh no, I didn't take the Necromancer's robes. Because when you put those on, they get rid of the pants and the shirt. Maybe I'll stick with the dark shirt. If I could just, as I said, if I could just find the right set of boots to go with that. I mean, the fact of the matter is I run in first person most of the time anyway, so I'm not even going to see myself looking like an idiot. Because I think it looks silly to have short boots like that, with or the short pants, really. The pants are the problem, not the boots. But having said that, I am definitely no fashionista. Quite the opposite, in fact. I don't know what I like. Alright, so we got that. So we are pretty full up. We might as well take this straight away. What is the time, by the way? 4:02 p.m. We are going to have to renew this spell a few times, because it's almost run out now as we walk out of here. And then when we fast travel, it's going to run out on us straight away as well. Oh, it's already the one that we've got set up. There we go. So we fast travel to here. This is a rendering issue if you haven't seen this problem. Actually, I mentioned this in the last stream as well. But what I didn't mention is looking at the reviews on Steam for this game, it appears like most people don't have this problem. It's only people running what is it? The handheld Steam game thingy. Anyway, but yeah, using that system, or of course on Linux like I am, because it uses the same system. So yeah, that I found that pretty interesting. That it's when it runs under Proton is where people seem to be having a lot of these rendering problems. On the, I almost had the name of the device.
Go ahead, please.
On that device, they said the game just will not go. Like it recommends it run when it does the test to see what graphics card you've got and what system settings it should use. It actually recommends using the low video settings, which is just like ridiculous. I'm going to keep those. I'm going to keep the copper ring. I probably shouldn't have sold that other brass ring, to be fair. Sell that. All of those. That. Those.
An excellent bargain. You've made a good bit of gold.
I don't want the Necromancer's robes. I've already got a mortar and pestle. I don't care about cure disease or poison.
You drive a hard bargain.
I'm going to keep the lotus seeds in case I do.
That's a good deal.
Change my mind about what's her name. How much money have I got? $5.97.
Tell your friends about me. Take care.
Right.
How goes it?
Yeah, let's chance it. I was going to say the problem I've got here is that I've only got 3 days of game time to loot that area to go back and get everything out of that chest before it will despawn. And so I wanted to be careful. Traveling back and forth to Frost Crag Spire will slow things down. Will use up a lot of time. But I want to drop off this stuff that I do want to keep. But don't want to, so... I mean, I could go back to Vilverin, or whatever it's called, and the stuff that I want to keep I could chuck in the chest and take out everything else and then come back and do it that way. But while I'm here, let's do this. I do want to quickly grab the soul gems because I should now be able to... why did I keep that? Okay, let's put that away, those away. Let's put... For the moment, I don't think I need the mid-level spells, potions. Shouldn't need those anymore, and let's put away everything. Let's put away all of those, actually. All of the Welkin Stones. I can come back and grab them later. We need to level up. Let's do that. So let's rest for an hour. Okay. And just that again. I've been doing that every level. Let's actually just have a quick look at our thing. So 262 magicka, 85 health. All right. How are we doing here? We're slowly but surely increasing destruction. Alteration is not really going very quickly at all, nor restoration. So I really need to make an effort for those. But let's see what we can do about enchanting this gear that we've got. So if I enchant the dark shirt with the lesser soul gem, with shield, that's going to cost... I still can't afford it. 700. I've only got 597. I thought I had more gold than that. All right. Want to put those soul gems away because, as I said last time, I will forget and end up selling them if I don't. I won't necessarily, but let's just make sure that I don't mistakenly sell them. And we had those lotus seeds there. We are probably going to come back here to try and enchant whatever we can. So what I might do is I might throw all of my potions, with the exception of the cure disease, which I want to sell. If I do that, and then, can I use this teleport here? Teleport to the Imperial Arcane University. That just gets me a lot closer. I can now fast travel to... So that's 2:26 a.m. And if I fast travel to Vilverin, it took me 3 hours, which is probably a little bit less than what it would if I had a fast traveled from Frostcrag Spire. I hope, anyway. I was just quickly trying to see if I could wait. You hit T. How long would you like to wait? That's a really simple little trick that you can do in Oblivion to see if there's any enemies around. And in the original Oblivion, I did have a couple of times particularly outside. I did that before I went through the door. But also inside, I've occasionally had other, bandits or whatever spawn and appear. And I think the ones that have appeared inside have come from outside, and they've come in somehow and spawned. And so just quickly doing that is a really good way to find out if there's any enemies around, because it won't let you. When you hit T to go to the wait thing, it just will not do it. It'll pop up a thing that says you can't wait when there are enemies around. Right? So that becomes a really nice and simple way of determining if there are any enemies around you. I've got to put something back. The helmet and the gauntlets. So it's really useful to hit the T to wait when I come out of here as well. Because the number of times I've come out of Vilverin and been ambushed by an enemy, there is a mage that appears sometimes. That's a crab over that way. Sometimes the crabs will come up here as well, and sometimes the slaughterfish will come up. But there's also a mage which sometimes spawns around this area. At least in the old game there was. Whether that's still there in the remastered, I don't know. But I don't want to take the chance. And see, that is ridiculous as well. That took 3 hours to go from Vilverin into here. There are times when you should not fast travel, particularly if you're concerned about how much time actually goes by. Like if I was there and it was the opposite, it was getting close to 8 p.m, right? I should have run myself from Vilverin and manually ran all the way here, because that would have taken less than an hour to get here, whereas I fast travel, it takes 3 hours of game time. It's like, that's insane. But that's what happens. So, something to be aware of.
Go ahead, please. Bye. Go ahead. Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
I want to keep the copper amulet. Doesn't weigh much. Okay, this is going to be interesting, right? In Skyrim, when you have a merchant who has a maximum amount of gold, they have 1,000 gold, right? You can only sell 1,000 gold worth of stuff to him at any given time. So it'll count back from that. And so after I sell all of these 11 boots, that would then scroll back to, 989 gold. But it doesn't do it here. What it is the maximum they will pay for anything is 1,000 gold. So that means I'm selling this. The maximum I can get for it is 1,000 gold. But when I looked at the details of it originally, it had, I think, let's have a quick look.
Serve you. Good day.
It shows it's worth 3,208. Now, roughly speaking, I should be getting 1,500 for that.
Go ahead, please.
I just don't know if there's going to be any other merchants around that are going to have more than 1,000 gold. So I don't know whether to keep this for the moment and sell it later to get the extra 500 for it, or just put up with it and say, yep, all I'm going to get is 1,000. Let's just get it out of the way. So I want the gold so that I can enchant my gear.
An excellent bargain.
I will go
Fine
and have a look
transaction.
at a couple of the other vendors around and see if
You got
anyone
a
else
great
has
deal
more
there.
available. But I think it's also probably a case
Fine
of
transaction.
I need to level up my merchant skill. That might, I don't recall if that affects that or not. But at the very least, when you do
Fine
increase your
transaction.
merchant skill, eventually you can invest in the store. And I think that might be how you raise that value up. I don't know. I never really pursued that avenue in this game.
Another satisfied customer.
But I know that it is there. Like, it tells you in some of the in some of these messages that appear on the loading screens, it talks about if you've got a high enough merchant skill, you can invest in stores. And I think normally it just gives you better prices, but I've got a feeling it might also raise
Feel
up
free to browse.
how much.
Let's do business.
See, she's only got 600, so there's no way so that would only sell for 600 to her. It's like, no way am I
Fairly well.
selling that to you for 600. Bloody rendering is still causing a problem.
What's going on with you?
Yes. Armor, weapons, I have it all.
1200.
How may I help you?
Okay, I'll remember that. I will be back
Farewell.
if no one else has better than that. Actually, the place to go and look, not because I know that they will have more money, but because there is an actual shield shop, which I always forget about, which is around the corner up there. But let's have a quick look at
What is it, citizen?
the best defense and that one that the orc owns. I'm also going to look at the magic shops around and see if any of them
What can I do for you?
have more available.
Armor, weapons, I have
Only
it all.
800.
How may I help you? Be seeing you.
I
Go ahead,
don't know if he'll be any better, but you never
Can
know.
I interest you in some of my
1,000.
wares?
All right.
Take care.
I suppose I have a moment. What is it?
That's the gilded carafe. Right. This guy will probably be only like 600 or something as well. He seems like a pretty cheap,
Go on.
but you never know.
May I interest you in
800.
some of my fine wares?
Yeah.
Stop talking.
That is so annoying.
Welcome to the mist. Let's do business.
1,000. All right.
Goodbye.
And what do you
A
have?
pleasure to speak with. Let's do business.
2,000. Oh, but she won't buy it. No. Oh.
Good day.
So, Divine Elegance, I don't expect them to buy shields. I also don't expect the other two magic shops to buy shields, but I'm going to test. I'm going to find out
What?
anyway.
Let's do business.
Yeah. Won't buy the shield. 1,200.
You too.
So it looks like I'm going back to, is it the best defense? Whichever one it is, back, the weapon shop back over there. I'll try the shield place first. Stonewall shields, let's see. Maybe we'll be lucky.
Stonewall shields. We specialize in shields. Viator Asius, your servant. Only quality goods for sale here.
No, just
What can I
1,000.
interest you in? Be seeing you.
was it?
Morning.
What is it now?
Do you know
What's going
Morrow
on with you?
Rufus?
They say
He specializes
syndicates
in
of
light
wizards
armor and best
have led a
defense.
boycott of him.
Yes?
Oh, that's
We're
right.
seeing you.
Edgar doesn't buy stuff. He only sells spells. Forgot about that. I know this next place does. The Rinwall staff buys stuff.
What is it?
And I guess I could go and talk to Borindor or whatever his name is. I've been trying to avoid him lately because I've never actually done that quest with
Well
him.
met. Have a look at my wares.
600.
I'm sure there's something
Oh,
to suit you.
God.
Goodbye.
What is the quest with
morning.
what's his
Both Fields
face?
from the
I
Arcane
think I've got the
University.
quest. Brotherhood Betrayed. No? Oh, I haven't taken the quest then. I guess. Yeah. Alright, I did it in another one.
Is looking for someone to chase the bandits.
Is looking for someone to chase the bandits from Camp Ailes.
I've heard other.
So let's have a quick look. See what he's got.
What kind of deal can I make for you today? May I interest you
Yeah,
in some of
only
my
800.
fine- Goodbye. Please come again.
Alright. 1200 it is.
Good to see you.
Hi there. Can you think of any place better to buy books than first edition?
Phidias has a good
Yes. Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you? That's a fair deal. Another satisfied customer. Bye.
Okay. Even though I said this is pointless, well, not pointless, but silly, because it's going to take 3 hours to go that distance, I am going to fast travel because I couldn't be bothered running that distance. Aha! There's an enemy nearby. What is it? Let's see. Mage, that's probably... It's either another slaughterfish bouncing around or it's a crab. Because if there was a mage, I'd be seeing an imp. Okay, it's whatever it is, it's not close enough anymore. It was probably a crab on the hillside over there. But you can see how effective that is at determining if there's an enemy in the area that you just can't see. Particularly when you move between locations, like when you fast travel or whatever, hitting that as soon as you arrive after you've fast traveled is a great way just to make sure that you're not about to be ambushed. How much of this are we going to be able to carry this time? Probably all of it, I would think. I don't think there's actually that much left. No, there isn't. 7 more welcome stones. Okay, we are encumbered, but that's fine. It won't be too much. And we're no longer encumbered. Wonderful! And even if we fast travel, we can still get to the shop and sell before it closes. So that is good. Oh, the other thing you can try and do is fast travel, because it won't let you fast travel if there's an opponent around. But if you just fast travel, you don't want to call up the fast travel again. So.
Chase the bandits from Camp Ailes. Probably trying to enhance her weird.
What can I do for you? I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. A good price for a... You've got a great deal there. An excellent bargain. An excellent bargain. You've got a great deal. An excellent bargain. You drive a hard bargain. That's a fair deal.
All right.
Thank you. Come again. Be seeing you. How can I help you?
The prey approaches. What's going on with you?
Let's go and enchant this gear. I've been ambushed outside this tower a couple of times as well. In the main game, anyway. In the original game. Not since the remaster, but just doing that to keep an eye on things to make sure I'm not getting ambushed. Yes, I did have some stuff. I wanted to put that amulet away. And all but one of, or all but two of those, that's fine. Oh. I need my lesser soul gems. And drop those scales off. Alright. Black wide pants. Soul gem. Shield. 700. Alright. What's the problem? Why is it... Oh. The interface on the spell crafting and this needs a bit of work, because let me show you what I just did there and why it seemed really odd to me. So I went dark, I went this, I went shield, I gave it a name, I went shield 7 shirt. All right. So it says down here, R to enchant. Oh, it did it this time. Last time it didn't do anything. I had to click on the enchant thing. I don't know what the deal was. Yeah, I had a feeling it would do that. Okay, so I've now got an armor of 14 without doing anything. I do want to also put, I don't know if I want to put those boots. I might do a shield necklace as my third one. I'm tempted to do a shield ring, but I don't actually recall whether you can wear 2 enchanted rings. And fortifying my intelligence by 6 points is actually quite good, because that will be doing, so 262 magicka down to 250. That's an extra 12 magicka, and it's not really that much, I guess, is it? Let's take the chance. Let's enchant the ring. Field 7 ring. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. I have to click out of, somewhere on here. Because I had clicked up here to change the name, even though I had finished and I had hit enter to stop editing that, I need to click out of that area, and then I can hit R and it will enchant. A little buggy, I feel. So can I put that ring on and also put that ring on? I can. Wonderful. Is that actually working? Yep, 21 and 262. Okay, cool. So you can have 2 rings. I like that. If I had one more, I would do the necklace as well. I want to find some better boots, I feel. I don't know. These ones just aren't blowing my skirt up, as they say. But I don't think there's going to be anything better, to be frank. And I also need to find something for my head. I wish there were hats. I don't want to wear a hood. I want a hat. I want a few different varieties of hat. I don't actually want a wizard hat. A pointy wizard hat? No. Give me, a nice broad brim with some sort of ostrich feather plume or something. Something different. Even a tricorn or a bicorn would be all right. Or any sort of hat, really. I want some sort of hat. I don't want a wizard hat, but I want a hat. And I want to be able to enchant it. That's all I want. And gloves. And a few different styles of boots. Something that is longer in the leg boots. Mid-calf boots. That aren't armored boots. They're just, boots. Because you have them in Skyrim. There's lots of different boots. You can have the short boots, the longer boots. They're not armor. They're just normal clothing. As a wizard, you're not limited. There are lots of pieces of clothing, but there's things that are missing. As far as footwear goes, there are lots of different footwear, but they're all just a short boot or a sandal or a clog or something. There's no long boots. And then, as I've said, there are no gloves. There should be. I would love there to be cloaks as well that can be enchanted. But, I'm going to have to wait to find someone modding that. So, yeah. I think this is a pretty logical place, actually, to stop for this stream. Let's do a save. But overall, I'm happy with where we're at. We are level 5 already, which is good. But we've mostly been leveling up other skills, not our main skills, not our major skills. We've been mostly, it's athletics, a little bit of acrobat, and mercantile are the main ones that we have been leveling up. That's been getting us our levels more than destruction, alteration, restoration. Because we've literally only had 2 levels in restoration And we've had quite a few levels in destruction, because I think we started with 30, maybe 25 or 30. And we've had a couple of levels of alteration, but that's been it. So yeah, not the best, but overall, if they can just get the graphics running a bit better in Proton, I will be happy. I've tried lots of different settings, setting options here. The main stuff that I've looked at is stuff that I need to do some more research and find out what it actually does. But turning the lumen ray tracing off, I feel, has helped a little bit. Anti-aliasing, I've tried turning the upscaling off and just using anti-aliasing. Didn't really like it. Upscaling DLS, sometimes it seems okay, other times it seems like it's garbage. So I normally stick with FSR, and then I have it set on ultra performance so that it just runs a little bit better. I think that's what I had, wasn't it? Or have I been running on... I have been running on DLSS. I flip back and forth between some of these settings, trying to see which ones work better and which ones don't. They're all much of a muchness. I think the DLSS is what's causing some of the major problems that I'm having. I actually think this is probably the better option. But it is hard to tell, because it only really seems to be a problem when I'm out in the main world. It's not when I'm in a building or in a city or in a dungeon. It's only when I'm out here that it has a few issues and doesn't render well. And it also seems to be certain things, like sometimes rain is a problem, sometimes really bright sunshine is a problem. I think there might have been some times when it's tried to have fog and that became a problem. I don't know. But yeah, if they can fix that, I think I will enjoy the game a bit more. I've been putting off doing any of the main quest line because I wanted to go a little bit further with I wanted to go all the way through, basically, the Mage Guild quest line, and we can do that now. I think I'm ready to finish off the Mage quest line. But that is where everything will really pan out, and I will see whether the game feels like it is more balanced or not, because it was always the main quest line. It was always, starting at Kvatch, you start seeing the clan fear, and they just wreck you so bad. And then if your level's a little bit higher, if you are around the level 5 or whatever, when you're in Oblivion, and also then later on when you're trying to clear out the Count's, the rest of the castle in Kvatch, and trying to rescue the Count and his family, there's Daedroth in there if your level's a little bit higher, and that Daedroth just wrecks you as well. And then as you keep leveling up, you'll start finding the Spider Daedra, and they are just insane in the original Oblivion. And the only way to sort of get around that, if you didn't want to put up with all of that, was just to not level up. That was it. And that way all you'd have is Imp and Clan Fear. That would be it. And the normal Daedra, the Darth Maul guys. That would be it. You'd never have any of the Daedroths and the Spider Daedra, the higher level guys. You'd never see them. And that was always the way to sort of do it. But yeah, anyway, enough of that rambling. I'm enjoying things in general. Just, I wish they would fix up a few more things before they release the game. Hope you're enjoying it too. I will, and sorry for the problems we've been having today with, you know, 2 strings because it crashed halfway through one. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye now.